Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and today is day 82 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and celebrating myself. So, yay for day 82. Excited to be getting closer to being done. 18 days, 18 days. Um, I, I think it's rather interesting. Today I picked readiness, timing and readiness. I think I actually mentioned in my video for my week 2 healthy thing that I'm doing, my healthier lifestyle thing I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it for this video because this is pretty much what sparked that anyway. Um, I I have a sponsor in my 12-step program that mentioned to me one time that I don't do things until I'm ready, and I don't think I fully understand or understood what she was talking about. But as I have been looking at my life and as if I'm doing these things, I realize that there's a lot of things in my life that I sit around and tell myself I need to do. It plays around in my head. I try to force myself to do things, and it just does not work. It's like I have this wall, this block, this something, and then all of a sudden, I will just randomly get up and start doing whatever it is that needs to be done. And I just I just do it. I get up and I'm like, oh, as long as I'm up, I may as well do this. I may as well do that. And the next thing you know, I'm getting all of my stuff done. I'm like, this is cool. How come I couldn't do this yesterday? How come I couldn't do this like 3 hours earlier? And I have a tendency to focus too much on the how come I didn't do it earlier, or being frustrated that it's so late in the day when I'm doing things, and forgetting that I seem to have this internal timer, clock, thing, something. Uh, or maybe it's just the way that God works, because He has His own timing that is so different from mine. But there is just something inside me that just works on its own. I have no control over it, and it just will randomly say, "I'm not doing anything today. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it." And I'm like, and it's this battle that I feel like I'm having with myself. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, let's do it. It's like, it's like baking something and you put it in the oven and you have a timer that's set for like 20 minutes and you check it like after 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You're like, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? And it's not done yet. I'm like, but it smells so yummy and I just want to eat it, but it's still doughy, it's still gooey. You still have to wait for it to finish baking. And then you have to wait for it to cool. And then all of a sudden, it's done. Yay, we can do it. We can eat it. We can enjoy it. I think that's how my internal timer works, my readiness thing works, because I don't, my sponsor is right, I don't do anything until I'm ready. Like, it doesn't matter how much I try to force myself, how much I think about it, how much I berate myself or whatever. I can't make myself do it. And then when I'm ready, it's like all of those walls, all of that resistance just dissolves. It disappears, like it was never even there. And I just get up and go to work. I just get up and do whatever it is that I need to do. And so I'm learning. I am still in the process of learning this, but maybe there's a reason that I don't just do things when I first get up. Maybe I need to be ready. Like when I wake up in the mornings, and even though this is a few days old that I did this, I'm behind on my videos by like 3 or 4 days. I apologize. But not behind on celebrating something new every day, just behind on sharing it. But today, I'm just going to do an example for today, but it's been applying for this whole week, actually, which has been very interesting for me. It's kind of like when I celebrate it, that I become more aware of it, and I start seeing it in my life. So I've been seeing this in my life for the past few days, because that's when I celebrated timing and readiness. So because if I'm perfectly honest with you, I am on what am I on, day 80? I just wrote it down and I lost it. I forgot. I think I'm on like day 85 and this is day 82 video. So I'm like 3 days behind in doing my videos. Anyway, the point is, when I recognize timing and readiness, I've been watching myself this week. And so for the past 3 or 4 days, I've been looking at that. I've been aware of that. I have noticed that I have a hard time waking up in the mornings. I am not a morning person, and it takes me a while to get moving and doing things. And sometimes I just open up my phone and play games, or I just migrate to my couch and I just veg out and watch a couple of, shows on Netflix or something. And then after I let myself do that, not forcing myself, just like, okay, just saying a little prayer and hoping at some point I'll be ready to do something, I just will get up after about an hour or two and be like, okay, I have rested. I'm somewhat awake at this point. I'm hungry. I need to eat something. And then I go in my kitchen. I'm like, oh, I have to do dishes in order to eat something. So I start doing the dishes. And then I do my little exercises, or I grab my scriptures and meditationals and I just start reading them. I'm like, I pause the TV for whatever reason. I pause it because I have to go to the bathroom or because I want something to eat. And the next thing you know, I'm reading my scriptures and my meditationals in the middle of whatever show is paused on my TV. And I'm like, I don't even care. And I think there was one day I just turned it off in the middle of whatever show I was watching because I'm like, I've seen them before. So it's all like reruns to me. But I was done at that point with the show and I was ready to move on with my day and go to work. And I do find it honestly frustrating that I don't just get out of bed and start gung-ho, I'm ready for the day and I'm going to go to work. But I've noticed that by not beating myself up, by allowing myself to just have that couple of hours to do nothing when I wake up, as annoying as that is, because I know I won't go back to sleep. I try and it just doesn't work. So I'm like, okay, well, if I can't go back to sleep and I'm just not ready to wake up, then I give myself that hour or 2 hours, whatever it is that I need to just, be upset that I couldn't sleep, or just to rest a little bit for my body to decide that it's awake. And then I'm ready and I can go to work and I can do whatever other things I need to do, read my scriptures and meditationals, clean my kitchen, do my little exercises, go to work, whatever it is that I need to do. And it's so it's frustrating because I would like to do things earlier because I know I have things I need to get done. But it's also interesting to recognize for myself that when I don't fight myself on that, because if I keep fighting myself, my body just, and I end up not doing anything for the whole day, my depression kicks in and everything just spirals downward, and it makes it even harder to function because my mind goes to a negative place and I stop being gentle with myself. I start being mean and frustrated because I have so many things I have to do, and then I start getting stressed out and overwhelmed with my to-do list that's so long and so high, and the next thing you know, I have no motivation to do anything. But when I just am like, okay, I'm just not ready, and I just pray that I'm like, at some point today, I'm like, God, at some point today, just please help me to be ready to go to work. Please help me to be willing to do whatever it is that I need to do. And then I just let it go. And I have done that for the past couple of days. And it has been interesting and amazing to me that I will, after a couple of hours, just get up and start doing things. I'll be like, okay, there's a pause, there's a break. I'm bored with whatever it is I'm doing. I need to get up and move around. And I get up and I move around and I start moving and I'm like, okay, now I need to exercise. Now I need to get dressed. Now I need to pay the bills. Now I need to, whatever it is that I need to do. And I start taking care of the things that need to be done because they're not piling up in my head. They're not playing like a broken record. They're not overwhelming me with everything. And it's an amazing difference, transition, change by accepting the fact that I have a point somewhere in my body, something that's telling me I am ready to get up for the day. I am ready to work today. I am ready to deal with reality. I am ready to deal with whatever life's challenges have for today. And until I'm ready, I can't do anything. I'm basically just stuck. So I can accept that and I can allow myself the time to get ready, whatever that is, whatever my body needs. And I'm seeing that with the other things that I'm doing. Like I'm ready to read my scriptures and meditationals, and I keep thinking I would love to be writing in my journal, and that would be so helpful for me. But for whatever reason, I'm not ready to face or deal with. And writing in my journal isn't scary. Honestly, it's not scary. And most of the time, even if I don't feel like dealing with emotional stuff, I'll just write about surface stuff in general. This is what I did for the day. Although that does always seem to work something out of my system anyway, just doing the general stuff. So it's a good thing. It's a healthy thing for me. But I cannot force myself to write in my journal any more than I can force myself to get ready in the morning to go to work. I have something, some internal thing, some internal timing, some readiness button inside of me that's just like, nope, big old wall is sitting up there. We can't do anything until it comes down. And if we keep focusing on the wall and all the things in the way, it is never coming down because it just overwhelms me and it triggers all of my other buttons and all of the other alarms in my default system. And my whole system goes crazy and I can't function. But when I just accept that there's a wall and when I'm ready, it will come down and I will go to work. And I just allow myself the time to do whatever it is I feel like I need to do, or to just avoid reality, whatever it is. Then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I want to do this now. Oh, I'm ready to do this now. And it's no longer a fight. It's no longer a battle. It's because I'm ready. So I'm really grateful that God pointed out to me that I needed to celebrate this readiness, this timing thing, because it made me aware that I do things when I'm ready. But not only that, it has allowed me to watch myself, to see myself, and to see how I do that over time. And then when I don't beat myself up and I don't try to force myself to do something before my body's ready, before that internal timer says, ding, let's go, I feel a whole lot better for the day because I'm not beating myself up. I'm not making myself feel worse or feel bad about myself because I'm not doing things when and how I want to do them. I'm giving that to God. I'm like, it's in His timing, however things are supposed to work. I can't control that. And letting go of that is somehow freeing. It's relaxing. It allows my body to relax. It allows my mind to relax. It allows me to not worry about whatever else is going on because I'm like, I'll get to it when I'm ready. And I can just say that in my mind. I can like, when that pops up in my head, like that's spinning, I'm like, nope, I'll get to it when I'm ready. And I'm not ready right now. I'll get to it when I'm ready. And I'm not ready right now. And I'm like, okay. And then something happens. That little timer goes off. I move, shift something. And all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm awake. Okay, whether I'm awake or not, I'm going to get some stuff done. I'm ready. And it's just interesting to see how right my sponsor was about that. And she told me that years ago. And I mean, I believe her. I didn't doubt that. I just thought, that's kind of interesting. But it's been really interesting to see that in myself and to recognize that in myself and to recognize that as I don't fight myself on that, on whether or not I'm ready, and I just like, okay, I will do this when I'm ready. When the timing is right, it will happen. And I don't force myself to do something that I'm not ready for, not comfortable with, that for some reason I have walls or alarms in my nervous system going off or my brain going off that I can't handle something in the moment. And somehow my body knows that better than I do. So my mind is like, we can do this. Mind over matter. My mind can make my body function, and my body just laughs at me like, yeah, that ain't happening. So I know that's my pseudo evil laugh. I don't really have an evil laugh. My kids tell me I don't have an evil laugh. But that's my body just laughing at me. And then when I just accept that, okay, I have to wait until it's ready, then it's that timer goes off and I get ready a lot sooner, a lot faster, because I'm not fighting myself. I'm not forcing myself. And I'm just trusting that when I'm ready, it will happen and that God will take care of everything because He knows what I need and He knows what I'm capable of. And sometimes I think I'm capable of more than I actually am. And sometimes I choose not to do all the things I am capable of. So I'm always amazed at all the things that God can help me accomplish in a day and in His timing. But I have to wait for that. And yeah, I have all these grandiose ideas in my head that things would be different if I did it this way, or if I set timers and alarms and I did things in a specific way. But even setting timers and alarms, I still just I'm like, nope, not ready, and I just ignore it. So I have to wait for when I'm ready to do things, and when I'm ready, I will do it, and it will happen, and things will just fall into place because that's how God's timing works. And I think somehow my internal clock is aligned with His, even though my mental clock is not. So it's getting my mental clock to agree with my physical clock that tells me when I'm ready to do certain things. And I always want to do more or do other things or do things in a different order, but it doesn't always work out for me. So I'm learning to accept this is what I'm willing to do in the moment. And when I'm ready to do something else, I will. When I'm ready to make those changes, it will happen. And I'm grateful to know that it will happen when I'm ready. Sometimes it's frustrating waiting to be ready, but I'm learning that I don't have to beat myself up for not being ready, and I don't have to berate myself. I can just remind myself that I'm not ready right now. When I'm ready, I will get to it. I will get to it when I'm ready, and when I'm ready, it will get done, and everything will be okay, and it's fine. It's just going to have to wait until I'm ready. And reminding myself of that is amazing, because it takes the pressure off. It takes the overwhelming feeling off. It alleviates that negative cycle. It stops the negative cycle, basically, by saying I'm just not ready right now. And when the negative cycle doesn't get to take over, that heavy weight that I feel for being depressed or just like I'm not good enough, whatever it is, all that emotional stuff, it loses its power, and then I become ready. Whatever it is, I'm ready. And I'm just learning to accept it. It's still a process for me. It's still something I'm learning, but I'm grateful to be aware of it and grateful to realize that when I'm ready, I will get back to writing my books. When I'm ready, my books will be published. When I'm ready, things will happen the way that they're supposed to happen. And right now, in the meantime, I am doing other things to prepare to be ready. I am working on these videos. I am working on creating a healthier, happier lifestyle for myself. I am working on little tiny things, subtle things that I can change that aren't overwhelming, that don't freak me out, that I feel like, okay, I can do this, and it makes my life feel manageable. And I realize that the long-term goal is way far into the future. But I'm ready to start working towards that goal. And maybe I'm not ready to reach that goal just yet, but when I'm ready, it will happen. And I'm grateful for that insight, and to celebrate that, and to see that in my life, and to see how that works. So yay for seeing how things work in my life. Yay for recognizing that there is something internal timing in me, in myself, in my body, that says when I'm ready, we will do things. When I'm ready, we'll go to work. It'll work out. It'll be okay. And trying to force that just doesn't work. So I'm learning to let go of that control, trying to force myself to do things, and just accepting that I will do it when I'm ready, because that's how I work. My sponsor was very right about that, and I'm very grateful for that insight that she gave me years ago, that I can still see and recognize in myself, and allows me to be gentle with myself. It allows me to let go and just remind myself it's okay. And when I'm ready, it'll all work out. So I just need to stop stressing and trying to force things to happen sooner than I want them to, which I'm still trying to do. I'm honest, I'm still trying to force things. I'm still trying to like set a certain time limit to when things are going to get done, and it just doesn't happen, and then I get disappointed and discouraged. So I'm having to learn that I just have to wait till I'm ready, and I just can't make myself be ready any sooner than I actually am. So anyway, that is me for day 82, celebrating my internal timing and readiness. And if you find that remotely helpful or entertaining, and you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, or share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude. Find some fun, fabulous ways to celebrate yourself, and maybe do some writing.